75 million people in the United States over the age of 20 have high blood pressure. And after the age of 55, it's estimated that Americans face a 90% chance of developing it. And the good news is that a doctor can actually diagnose high blood pressure, also called hypertension, in just a few minutes. All too typical. The doctor will then prescribe an anti-hypertensive medication and advise the patient to take it for the rest of his or her life. In fact, this drug treatment is often not needed. Conventional doctors rarely concern themselves with the underlying cause of elevated blood pressure. More than 95% of cases are simply labeled essential hypertension, meaning there is no known cause. Many times, the cause is a mystery because nobody has bothered to search for it. And my experience has clearly shown a direct relationship between low magnesium levels and hypertension, and lack of the mineral is a huge factor in the spread of this risky condition. But before I dive in further, please do me a favor and subscribe and follow. With your help, I can reach lots of people that are need to hear this and act fast. And in addition, I have listed 4 ebooks for free on my website and an excellent guide to eliminate hypertension forever. Another thing I have discovered is that even if blood tests show normal magnesium levels, the vast majority of patients with hypertension will significantly improve by supplementing with magnesium. Magnesium helps to relax the smooth muscle of blood vessels, resulting in less resistance to blood flow, which helps to lower blood pressure. And this mineral also reduces nerve and muscle excitability. So in addition, magnesium helps optimize circulating levels of the hormone norepinephrine and serotonin and levels of nitric oxide. And since we are talking about nitric oxide, it is a powerful vasodilator. It's a substance that actually opens blood vessels for better flow. It is interesting to note that nearly all synthetic anti-hypertensive medication work to reduce blood pressure by a similar mechanism. However, all of these drugs are associated with severe adverse effects. Soft stool is the only adverse side effect of magnesium, and it's easily solved by lowering the dose. Studies have clearly shown the benefits of magnesium, and one found that 625 milligrams per day caused a significant decline in blood pressure. So that effect of magnesium was similar to the best anti-hypertensive medications. The initial workup for anyone with high blood pressure should actually include testing magnesium levels, red blood cells levels, and a trial of oral magnesium before using any type of medications. Diuretics, the most commonly prescribed antihypertensive drugs, accelerate magnesium loss and lead to deficiency. In addition, lack of magnesium hinders the use of potassium in cells. But oddly enough, diuretic drugs also lower potassium levels. So the question is, are you getting enough magnesium? What you will listen over the next few minutes will directly impact your ability to maintain your health, particularly your heart health. So I urge you to listen through this important educational video. And by the time you finish listening, you will have learned that 99 out of 100 people know about a nutrient, a mineral, actually that's crucial to over 325 biochemical processes in your body. You will discover why you've been kept in the dark about its necessity and whether you are at a risk for having low supply of magnesium in your own body. Most importantly, you will see the exact simple steps you can take to turn the tables and address this concern for the sake of your heart and, of course, overall health. Now, you're well informed enough to know a little bit about magnesium, and I'm sure you already know you need it for maintaining health. However, magnesium has long taken a back seat to its more highly studied cousin, calcium. You've probably heard since childhood that you need adequate calcium for strong bones, and of course, that's kind of true. But here's the bottom line. See, magnesium is crucial as calcium. In fact, calcium cannot even be fully absorbed and available to your body's cells without adequate magnesium. It's easy to see why magnesium is considered one of the most critical minerals for overall health. because it affects your heart function and your heart rhythm, your blood pressure, your muscle and nerve function, your blood glucose control, your energy production, your antioxidant activity, your bone development, and much, much more. So in a nutshell, calcium basically contracts muscles and magnesium helps relax them. And also, you probably think of muscles as the tissues attached to your skeleton. Do you know what else you have critical muscles? Your heart and your blood vessels, that's where. And needless to say, that's one reason why magnesium is so vital to support your cardiovascular health. Again, so the bottom line is you don't want too much contracting and not enough relaxing. Also, magnesium have been studied much less heavily than other minerals such as calcium, and researchers have finally gotten on the bandwagon and identified 3,751 magnesium binding sites on human proteins. Okay, so let's hold on for a second and let me take a step back. So I realize this may sound like a lot of scientific words to you or me, but it does mean something to scientists who are now coming out of the woodwork to study magnesium. And that's because they now realize that magnesium's role in maintaining good health has been terribly underestimated. See, all these new scientific findings have sparked renewed interest in this everyday mineral. Dietary surveys have repeatedly found that magnesium intake for Americans is lower than the recommended amounts, which many doctors feel are already too low. See, the 2005-2006 edition of the US Government National Health and Nutrition Examination Survey found that of those specifically age 51 and over, a whopping 62% were actually getting less than the average requirements for magnesium in their diets. And based on these facts, and I have to say this, you could well find yourself in this group. Now, if you do, however, don't feel guilty. It's not your fault, and here's why. And if you fall into the category that the medical profession likes to call the aging population, your risk of magnesium depletion is higher for several reasons. First, the Office of Dietary Supplements, a branch of the National Institutes of Health, describes the impact aging can actually have on magnesium levels. Statistics show that older adults take in even less dietary magnesium than their younger counterparts. Second, with age, your gut's ability to absorb magnesium slows down. Third, older adults are more apt to have less than optimal overall health and are also more likely to take medications that actually interfere with magnesium uptake in the body. Plus, if, like me, you love your coffee, should also know that both caffeine and, let's say, alcohol can deplete your magnesium stores due to their diuretic effects. Then there's that big effects most of us is chronic stress. When you're under stress, your body produces cortisol, and this hormone causes magnesium to be released from cells and excreted in your urine. You literally flush your magnesium away down the toilet. And that's not all. There's also the food issue. So while magnesium is found in many different plant and animal foods, modern food processing and refining have systematically stripped away much of the nutritional content from foods, including magnesium. And to add insult to injury, modern farming techniques combined with the use of herbicides and pesticides, certain fertilizers, and acid rain that occurs with air pollution all combine to make our food lighter in magnesium content. Plus, and this is just between us, let's be honest, with our busy schedules and demanding lives, most of us eat too much junk food and processed food with poor nutritional value. And while you should eat as many magnesium-rich foods as possible, like leafy green vegetables, beans and nuts, even with a healthy diet, it's just nearly impossible to consume all the magnesium you need from diet alone. You see, just to get the recommended 400 milligrams of magnesium per day, and bear in mind, many doctors recommend far more for optimal health, you'd need to eat 16 cups of broccoli, 12 bananas, 4.5 pounds of yogurt, 16 cups of white rice, or 2.5 cups of boiled spinach. Who could actually do that? Maybe Popeye could eat the spinach, but I know I couldn't eat enough of any of these foods, and that's why As a clinical nutritionist, I recommend supplementing your diet with magnesium to promote heart and circulatory system health. And by the way, it's important to know more about how magnesium affects your heart health. I'll get into that shortly, but first I want to give you a quick heads up. And from reaching out to few cardiologists who believe in this mineral, and they said magnesium not only a critical mineral, but a critical cardiac nutrient. See, magnesium and some of the other nutrients I'll share with you today are not just fads or folk remedies. In point of fact, the role they play in the health of your heart and other body systems is well established by a repeated scientific study. Now, I won't bore you with too much technical jargon, but since you don't know me from Adam and deserve to make up your own mind, here are the facts. See, a study reported in the American Heart Journal followed 13,922 middle-aged adults. The research conducted that magnesium levels correlate directly with overall heart health. And another study, this one published in the American Journal of Cardiology, found that adequate magnesium levels were associated with normal heart rhythm. And the Journal of Clinical Epidemiology published a study of 15,248 participants that explored the correlation between magnesium levels and heart health. And this study concluded that adequate magnesium levels were associated with cardiac health. And again, this is just a drop in the bucket when it comes to all the studies supporting the importance of magnesium to heart health. In fact, magnesium supports normal heart rhythm, helps promote normal blood pressure levels, supports overall cardiovascular health. And that's just your heart. When it comes to the rest of your body, magnesium supports healthy insulin levels, supports your body's energy production to keep you going strong all day long, promotes proper bone development, helps your body synthesize the crucial antioxidant glutathione, helps regulate nerve and muscle function, and perform over 300 additional biochemical functions in your body. Now you could run down to your neighborhood health food store or even your local grocery store and find some inexpensive magnesium. But before you do that, I have a warning for you. Magnesium supplements are not all created equal. See, there are many forms of magnesium, each with their pros and cons, each with varying degrees of absorbability and side effects, and some, of course, cause loose bowels. So how do you know which one you should trust? And because of inadequate quality control and inspection, supplements contaminated with heavy metals, pesticides, or prescription drugs have been sold to unsuspecting customers, and FDA rules covering manufacturing quality and don't apply to the companies that supply herbs, vitamins, and other raw ingredients. And over the years, I've seen many patients buy cheap, useless, and potentially unsafe supplements. Now, I understand that they really didn't know any better. They were just looking for a bargain. Truth is, when it comes to nutritional supplements, cheap does not equal good. If you're going to take a nutritional supplement, you want one that is what it says it is, and it does what it's supposed to do. So one that's created in a facility devoted to high quality and safety. And the current magnesium I tend to use is ocean source Australian trace minerals, packed with 70 plus trace minerals, proper electrolyte balance, and enough magnesium to help saturate your cells correctly. And the question is, you need to understand how to saturate with magnesium and how much elemental magnesium you're absorbing. For now, I'll leave you with that much info, but keep in mind, your lifestyle will require some adjustment to start healing correctly.